What's up, guys? We are Cobra Kai Season 2, Episode 6, Take a Right. So, so yeah, this episode starts off with Johnny wanting to know who trashed the Miyagi-Do dojo, but of course, Kreese is just sitting there saying, "Oh yeah, I don't know who did it." And then when Hawk said, and then Johnny gets a call from one of his old buddies, about one of his old friends that we saw in the original Karate Kid, about his friend Tommy, who was in the original Karate Kid. So he's like, "Hey, I gotta go see him. Kreese, you take over." But Kreese is like, "You don't say anything, Hawk." So you don't say anything about what happened, Hawk. So yeah. So then we get to Miyagi-Do, and some of the Cobra Kai students like, "Hey, we want to join Miyagi-Do," but Robbie's like, "Hey, they're Cobra Kai. They can't join. They can't join. They also beat up Dimitri. They're like, but yeah, but Daniel lets them in, and then John he reunites with his old buddies from the original Karate Kid, and we learn that Tommy, who told who in the original Karate Kid, he was Johnny's friend, and he told Johnny, he said to put Daniel in a body bag in the original movie. So yeah, and he said that the only way to on the only we have to have Tommy on, we have to go Tommy on a road trip, and yeah, so they go road trip. While that's happening, he's being evil. He's evil. Chris is evil, and he tells to, to when scores a point against one of the kids. Chris finish. Chris tells Tori to finish him, but then, hey, Sensei warns when let that Tori score a point. It's no big deal. So yeah, and it also seems like Tori and Miguel are seeing each other, and yeah, so they're at a bar, and he's like, oh yeah, he's like, I opened a bar, and also Dutch from the original movies in prison, and from the original Karate Kid who got into a fight with Daniel is in prison, and yeah, Dutch is in Dutch is in prison, so he's like, hey, I opened up, I opened up a Karate Dojo overseas. Is like, what dojo? He's like, Cobra Kai. He's like, why would you open up Cobra Kai? And why would you bring Kreese in? He's like, because Kreese promised. To be. Kreese is a good guy. He's just had. But Johnny Kreese is not a bad good guy. He's evil. He's using your trust to manipulate your students, as we see in a later scene when we see Kreese words about how no mercy, how you shouldn't have mercy on someone, is getting in Tori's head because she's dating Miguel now. She said Miguel how her mom when she was little used to give stuff for her and her brother, but when her boss found out about it, she fired her, and she's like, oh yeah, and it was about to go in the trash anyway. So who like, why would you care? And that's why people need no mercy. And yeah, what Tori's saying is just totally what Chris would say. So I think what Chris is saying is getting in Tori's head and is making her be seduced by Chris. So yeah, and when they had a bar, they get into a fight with some guys and beat them up, and then one and then and yeah, and then they're like, and then Chris is like, oh yeah, Hawk did it. But also Miguel, he's like, Miguel Hawk trashed Cobra Kai and could trash Miyagi-Do and all, because he said that since they're all Cobra Kai, they all did it. It's just Chris being evil. And yeah. So and then Tommy reveals to Johnny, he's like, hey, I had a crush on Allie, but when I tried to ask her out, you were you were already seeing her, and that's why I joined Cobra Kai, because I to be like you, Johnny. And then next scene we see is the most heart-crushing scene, because when Johnny wakes up, his friends are like, Tommy, come on, and it's like Tommy has passed away. And it's super sad. And super sad even more is that after this episode, his real life actor Rob Garrison passed away. Not after the episode, like this episode premiered in April of last year, and Rob Garrison died in September of last year, so it's very sad. So, and he's like, he's and Chris is like, your bros, your sisters, they're all Cobra Kai, and you are Cobra Kai, and Cobra Kai never die. And that's how the episode ends. This episode was just such a good episode. It was such a good episode. Kreese, evil as always. Johnny thinks he can trust Kreese, but Kreese is a lion snake. He's a lion snake. Martin Cove does a very good job as Kreese. He's still evil as ever, and he's also still funny because in the original Crikey he was so wacky, but this he's so serious. And then later when Miguel apologizes to him, he's like, Sensei Lawrence would want you to do stuff, but Sensei Lawrence wouldn't. He's like, you shouldn't apologize because Sensei Lawrence and we can do it together. I'm like, Miguel, don't be seduced by Kreese. And after Miguel leaves, Kreese is just like, Kreese is evil. He is evil. He's evil, just like my man would say. So yeah, Kreese is evil. He is not a nice guy. I don't know why Johnny thinks he has redemption, but time and time again, it's just showing how Kreese has no redemption at all. No redemption. He should not be in Cobra Kai. No redemption. So, Kreese has no redemption. So, no redemption at all. So, thank you for watching this video, and remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and remember to always send it to the internet.